Hey everybody, today we're going to be unboxing the Tamiya Fat Fox 114 scale RC Euro truck. This is becoming a very popular class here at my local track. There's actually a race dedicated to this class of Euro trucks. I believe Tamiya has four designs, and I picked one out that looked the most like. First, as you notice, this kit comes with the torque tune motor and the ESC, something I'm really familiar with. Built several kits with this combination. I know this car is going to be just fine. And this is a ready to assemble, so you need to go ahead and assemble this. And we're going to walk through all the steps together. And on this side, it says here, shaft-driven four-wheel drive TT-01 Type E. Parts for installation of taillight LEDs included. That's going to be cool. I'm not sure we're going to be doing that, but I think that's really cool that they include that. This is an RC model assembly kit recreating the 2018 season race truck for the previous year's champions. That's pretty cool. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up Buggyra Fat Fox and you'll see this truck in action. It's pretty insane. All right, let's look at what the TT-01 Type E is. This is my first TT-01. I've built several TT-02s, and this is my first TT-01. I'm looking forward to it. I do know that Type E means enhanced. So let's look at the details here. Shaft-driven four-wheel drive system, steadily transmit power from longitudinal mounted motor. Easy to assemble. Bathtub type chassis with fiberglass reinforced nylon resin. Upper deck and gear cover for greater rigidity. No doubt, if it's anything like the TT-02, I'm sure this is going to be a very rigid chassis. Three-piece steering linkage. Offers sharp steering response, wide variety of option parts, separately available. Tamiya is famous for their hop-up parts. Looking forward to that. Can be used in Tamiya official races. E denotes enhanced performance version of the TT-01 chassis. That's excellent. Got in a little bit closer here so we can read this. Racing truck tires, so tires are included in this kit. Bathtub type frame chassis. Tamiya battery pack not included. Urethane bumpers, double wishbone suspension. Steering servo not included. Receiver not included. ESC not included here, but as a sticker shows in the front, it is included in this kit right here. Electric motor, that's included. And friction damper unit. We'll take a look at those. So as always, pretty much with any RC car kit, you want to go ahead and read the side of the box, see what else you need. And let's go ahead and do that. Separately required items, 2-channel transmitter, batteries for transmitter, receiver, servo, ESC, battery pack, and battery charger. We do know that the ESC is already inside. It's the familiar TBLE02S ESC. That's a reliable ESC, so we're ready to go. For your safety, please use Tamiya battery packs with output of 7.2 and below. And that's the reason for that is the ESC that's included in this kit doesn't have low voltage cutoff, so if you use light bulbs, you need to be really careful. I made a whole video about that topic. I'll link it in the description. And item 55111 Tamiya LF3700 6.6 racing pack sold separately is not compatible with this chassis. So if you have that battery pack, make sure you don't use it for this chassis. Tire surface discoloration do not affect performance. Paint body with Tamiya body paints not included. Ready to assemble radio control model kit, not suitable for children under 14 years of age. Model may vary from image on the box. Model is not snowproof or waterproof. Specifications are subject to change without notice. All very common to these kits. Okay, there's nothing on this side. There's really nothing on the ends here. So let me go ahead and get this plastic off and we'll open it up. Okay, let's get this box open. course, as expected. Full-size Lexan body. This is the cab right here. You can see the window. Cuts off right here. And I believe it's 3 pieces. So I have some trimming ahead. Let's take a look at this small bag. Dog bones. It looks like the drive shaft, propeller shaft. And a lot of interesting out drives. Looking forward to seeing what this bag is during the build. Like I said, I've never built a TT-01 before. There's a familiar battery strap, a front bumper holder. This looks like a brace or a deck within the chassis. That's probably the spur gear holder, spur gear cover. Got here, I'm not sure what these, this is the flexible plastic. And you got the arms here, some body posts. I'm not sure what these are. I'll find out. This looks like a bumper. But this is the hard plastic again. That looks like a bumper. All right. This looks like it's the Diff cover. And there's the uprights. Here's the familiar ESC. Glad this was included. And this bag has a lot of electronics inside. Let me put that aside and I'll open that. Here's the bottom half of the body. Everything bumper. Some more body posts. Included wheels. It's very nice. And finally, of course, the chassis. I was wondering why the TT-02 doesn't do this as well. This slotted design. Takes some weight off. And the tires. This is the usual disclaimer sheet. Comes with every Tamiya kit. Here's the decal sheet. And these decals are not pre-cut. So that's going to be a tough one. Antenna tube, never use those. And here's the manual. I'm going to move the box aside and let's look at the manual a little bit more in detail. Before we go through the manual, let's see what was in that big bag. I took everything out and here it is. This is bag A. Bag A is the motor plate, the included grease. Looks like a couple pins there and some screws, and I can see a couple gears there. So this is bag A. Bag B, springs, more gears, they're metal gears, and more screws. Bag C, I see some zip ties for the wiring, some more screws. That looks like wheel nuts and body pin and that familiar T-wrench. This bag has some gears. There's 2 diff bodies right here. And I think that's a spur gear. And That is this bag right here. This is what Tamiya includes. These plastic bushings is what they include. You're supposed to use these as bearings, but I never use these. I always have a set of ball bearings. And if you didn't know that, watch my other video, 5 things you should buy with a Tamiya RC car kit, and you'll find out that I talk about bearings. Here is the torque tune motor, very familiar. This is a great motor. And this is the servo saver. And I'm not sure what these strips are, but I know we'll find out. It looks like it's going to be some double-sided tape. Don't know what it's for, we'll find out. And some more body pins, a lot of very small nuts here, and some very small washers. Looking forward to seeing what those are for. All right, let's get to the manual. All right, I didn't notice this when I was putting it aside, but there's quite a few sheets here. I thought it was one manual book, but it turns out there's quite a few sheets here. So this first sheet talks about the transmitter and ESC system, receiver system. I'm not using that. I'm going to use my own. So put that one aside. And here's a parts diagram. That's wonderful. Never seen one, any car. Well, not as a separate sheet, at least. This is great. This might be actually pretty good looking little small poster for my wall. It's pretty cool. It's blank on the other side. This looks like it's a part sheet. Yep, it has all the part numbers, MA1. These are probably all screws. And the prices, it's in yen. And that's the number. That's the item number. So that's pretty cool. Nothing on the back. And this looks like this is for the body part set. So I think it's an addendum to the main manual. So it talks about the wheels, where to mount the switch, and the bumper. So the TT-01, just like the TT-02, comes in many variants. And of course it's in touring cars as well. So for the Euro Truck class, when the TT-01 chassis is used for the Euro Truck class, they made some adjustments and printed this extra pamphlet. So this shows you where to cut. And that was 4 pieces, 5 pieces. The first Lexan body piece that we took out. This is going to be very challenging. All right. This is paint scheme. All right. There's more painting here. And this is how you put it all together, including the mirrors and the back windshield, the cab. That's really cool. And here shows where all the decals go. That's a lot of decals. It might take me just as long to put the body together as I will take to build the chassis, which is interesting. There are mud flaps, and that's how you mount the body onto the chassis. And on the back here, just some tiny detail screws and where to put the receiver. Oh, this is an LED controller, and that's how you wire the harness for the LED lights. Really cool. All right, let's get to the main manual. Okay, let's look at the front page of the manual here. It just tells you this is the TT-01 Type E chassis, shaft-driven 4-wheel drive. And it just talks about everything. We probably read some of these in the box already. Rear gearbox, motor cover. It just identifies, just a photo that identifies where all the parts are. The usual front page, the tools you need. In case you didn't know, this is the first episode of a series, and I'm going to be putting this kit together one section at a time. Usually I do about 3 or 4 steps at a time, and I'm going to walk you through building this entire Euro truck kit. So if you're nervous about building your first kit, or you're just not sure if you can handle it, this series is for you. You can follow along with me, and I'll try to explain every step. If there's any difficult parts, I'll make sure I clarify it for you. So the second and third page here, there isn't anything. It just talks about the electronics. We'll go through that when we get there. And as usual, the first part is to build the propeller shaft, drive shaft. And so steps 1, 2, 3, mount the motor. Step 4, put on the motor cover. So this, for example, this would probably be the next episode where we put together the propeller shaft and mount the motor. And then the episode after that, we'll go ahead and build the diffs together and mount them. We'll work on the upper and lower arms for the rear. We'll build the uprights, and we're going to be doing a lot of work here. Like I said, I've never built this kit before. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it comes with suspension balls. That's interesting. And if you haven't seen the series already, you can go back to the TT-02 Type SR to see how I do the series and how I explain every part and go through it one by one so you can follow along. All right. And we're going to have to build some dampers. These are going to be really easy. It's not oil filled. And I'm going to mount them. And here's the steering. Install the bumper. Charge the battery. Install the electronics. And put on the upper deck. Cover the motor. Glue the tires. And I'll walk you through gluing the tires. Mount the wheels. Put in the battery. And put on the body. So this looks like it's not going to be too difficult. If this is your first Tamiya kit or any RC kit, I think you've made a great choice. I don't think this is going to be terribly difficult, and we'll definitely go through it step by step. So this video was an unboxing of the TT-01 Type E chassis on the Fat Fox body. So if you got something out of this, please give it a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe so when the next episode comes out and we start building this car, you're going to be notified. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.